Good morning. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is State Court of Clayton County, Courtroom 304. This is the calendar call for February 17th of 2025. I'm going to call the calendar. If you are represented by an attorney, your attorney will respond on your behalf. If you are not represented by an attorney, then we'll speak with you directly about what you plan to do with your case. Ladies and gentlemen, it's more helpful to the court if you put your first and last name on the screen. First and last name, initials, one name, nicknames, phone designations. Those aren't helpful to how many people are on the screen and how many people we have to move around and figure out where we are putting you or whether you've responded. All right. First case on the calendar is Mickey Blount. Mickey Blount.
Judge, Miss Blount's on the call. I will request a conference on that.
With?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Hagler, I believe.
Okay. So I don't know if you wanted a conference with Ms. Blount or with the state. So conference with the state. Quentin Allen Bonds.
Judge, he's in custody. I'll need to speak to him. And I was just trying to reach out to Ms. Hagler. This the one I'm not sure I have Rex on that because that kind of, he's in custody on another case with us. I think that kind of just crept up on us. If I could maybe get recommendations from the state.
Okay, he has 2 cases, really long cases. Anthony Cordell Chapman.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, so Mr. Chapman, are you represented by an attorney?
No.
You're charged with no tag, expired or invalid tag, and no insurance. Did you wish to have an attorney represent you, or did you wish to represent yourself?
Yeah, I could represent myself.
Are you over 21?
Yes.
All right. What does the state recommend for Mr. Chapman?
Yes, Mr. Chapman, do you have proof today of valid insurance and valid tag that you can send over to me?
No. So that vehicle, I actually just bought it that week. And I drove it from the private seller that I bought it from. And that's when I got into an accident. And that's why it was impounded and I end up not having insurance and all that. I just bought the car. And I didn't have any way to show anything.
Okay, so you don't have the car no more? You don't have the car no more?
It got impounded by a Terra Wrecker and okay. I haven't seen it since.
Do you have a car, any other car now?
No, I don't have. That was the last vehicle I had. I drive trucks over the road, so there really wasn't no need to, hurry up and get one again.
Your Honor, the state's going to not pause that case.
All right, so Mr. Chaplin, the case is going to be no pros. The state's not going to pursue the prosecution of this case, and you're free to go at this time. Please be safe, sir. You're on the over-the-road trucker. I tell people all the time, do not get in the way of a trucker. Do not think you can outrun them, run in front of them, because it takes a lot. One of my friends who's a judge says some people expect you to stop on a dime, but for a truck, it takes a whole $5.
Yeah, that's a fact. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care, sir.
I thank you too.
All right. Kevin Quadwo, Bondi Kevin Quadwo Darko.
Judge, he's present in the courtroom. I need to go over the offer with him today, but he is present.
Okay. All right, so next is Alicia Brooke Dearman. Alicia Brooke Dearman. Alicia Brooke Dearman.
Your Honor, state will move for a bench warrant.
Bench warrant will be granted.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Dearman has 2 cases, so bench warrant times 2. Kimberly Michelle Edwards.
Judge, she's on the call. I've talked to her about her matter. We may be able to have a resolution today. I just texted Ms. Ponder something for her to maybe consider. So I'll just hold for an announcement on that. But she is present on the Zoom call. Ms. Edwards, can you unmute turn on your camera, unmute your mic?
Yes, this is Kimberly.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Edwards.
Yes, Your Honor. And Ms. Hagler, good morning, Your Honor. I apologize. Ms. Hagler will be handling that case. She is assigned to cases A through L. So she'll be able to negotiate with Mr. Lynch further.
Yeah, I thought I was getting ready to say, I thought Miss Chief Fonda was at the end of the alphabet, but y'all gonna mess me up. No. All right, Christopher Dwayne Gray. Christopher Dwayne Gray.
The state will move for a benchmark, Your Honor.
Last call for Christopher Dwayne Gray. Bench warrant will be granted.
Thank
Was
you.
Anthony already called?
Anthony what?
Anthony Hicks.
No,
Okay.
we're not there yet. All right, Hardnett, Manuel German Hardnett.
Present in the courtroom. Judge, he's present in the courtroom.
Okay, anything?
We request a conference, Judge.
All right.
We'll need a conference with Mr. Hardnett further.
Okay. Dimitri Quintavious Harris. Dimitri Quintavious Harris.
Judge, he is on the call. Mr. Harris?
Oh, I see him.
I'm here.
All right. So that announcement for Mr. Harris.
Judge, I believe it's going to be ready, subject to viewing the discovery, but I would just have him stay on the call so I can make sure he understands the offer and everything on the table.
All right, is the state ready on Harris?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. State is ready.
So that's a ready announcement. Next is Keate DeKeese Hatcher. Keate DeKeese Hatcher.
Judge, she's currently on the call. I'm not sure I have a current offer. I'm just asking if the state could reiterate what the offer on the table is to me.
And Your Honor, just so may we have a breakout room with counsel in the court, please?
Sure.
Sure.
All right. Oops. Chief Ponder, courtroom. Courtroom number one, breakout room number one. I'll be in a moment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so we were on Hatcher, Keontae, DeKeese Hatcher. I didn't get it. I didn't hear Hatcher. Hatcher?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, there's Mr.
Okay.
Hatcher. All right, Mr. Lynch.
Judge, I would just request a conference with the state on this, just to.
Okay.
On the same
All
page.
right. So Mr. Hatcher, just hold on. We'll get you squared away in a moment. Next is Hicks. Mr. Hicks is here. Anthony James Hicks Jr.
And Judge, I believe he announced on the call. Mr. Hicks, you're still with us?
He did. Where is he? Maybe, oh, no. Maybe he got kicked off. I'm going to assume that Mr. Hicks is going to be back because I told him we hadn't gotten there yet. So he knows he's still coming up. So let's hold for Mr. Hicks before I issue a bench warrant. He was here and it may be a technical issue. Let me just find a pen that works. All right, next on the calendar is Marshall, Cassandriana Lachey Marshall.
Miss Marshall should be, there's Mr. Hicks. Miss Marshall, you on the call?
I'm here. I apologize.
That's okay, Mr. Hicks. We were waiting for you. We knew you were going to come back on.
Okay.
We figured you had technical difficulties.
Yeah, I was. I apologize.
All right, so Mr. Hicks, for Lister Home Dennis, what's up with Hicks?
Judge, I just have to request a conference with the state on that. I
Okay.
believe we're going to be announcing ready subject to discovery, but I need to verify that I've told them the correct information.
All right. And next is Marshall, Cassandriana Marshall.
Judge, I did speak to Miss Marshall. She should be on the calendar. I'm going to give her a call. Hopefully I didn't send her the wrong Zoom information.
Well, now it says waiver. So sometimes when somebody has a waiver in, they think that means that they don't have to come to court again. So yeah, give her a call.
Judge, she did indicate she would be on, so I need to see what's going on with that because I spoke to her on Friday.
Okay, so bench warrant, bond forfeiture until she checks in. All right, next is Harvey James Prejean.
Judge, he's on the call.
And that's ready?
And that'll be a ready subject, or it's a ready announcement.
All right, is the state ready on Prejean?
Yeah, the state is moving to no process case.
All right, thank you. Case will be no process, Mr. Prejean. The case is going to be no process, which means the state is not going to prosecute, but they have 6 months to bring this case back should anything else happen. So please be mindful of that. And also be mindful of your associations. So whatever got you in connection with this individual or this situation, be mindful to stay away from those types of things. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Prejean, you're free to go at this time. If you need any information to or paperwork, just speak with your attorneys and they'll be able to help you get that.
Okay.
All right, take care. Willard Kirkland Walker, Attorney Middleton.
Judge, his attorney is present in the courtroom. He's approaching.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, Mr. Walker is on Zoom.
I see him. He's under your name.
Yeah, we had a little mix up today and I came down here.
That's okay.
I had to pick up some evidence.
Well, that works out because since you're down here, I'm sure you'll be able to speak with the state if you would be so inclined. So, Mr. Walker, what do you have an announcement?
Well, we're definitely pleading not guilty until we can get this thing worked out.
Your Honor, it's my understanding, I did speak with Mr. Middleton this morning. He was instructed to schedule an appointment to get some evidence. I did walk him to our office so he can get that information. I haven't spoken with him after to see if he received that information, but just so that we can make an announcement. The state is announcing ready, and it's my understanding he received the information that he needed.
Okay. So, Mr. Middleton, are we leaning towards a plea or a trial? Because the state's ready. this is a 2021 case.
I believe we can work out something, Your Honor.
All right, I'm not trying to pressure you either way. I'm just giving you information, meaning that it is likely to be tried. And sometimes I try 2 cases in a week. So, as much, I know some other judges do more, but at least I think DUIs need the time that they take. So, but just to be clear. All right, so continue to speak with Chief Ponder or Mr. Hagler if she's assigned, and then y'all let me know. Also, Mr. Middleton, I do video court on Tuesdays. I have an arraignment calendar on Tuesdays as well as my jail calendar. So if you all actually come up with a resolution short of trial, you can always come on video. So that I think seems to help attorneys who are, who are going from court to court to court. If you can just come on by video, you and your attorney, you and your client, then that sometimes is helpful.
Sounds great to me, Your Honor.
All right, and so all you would have to do is let us know and we'll put you on the calendar, okay?
Okay, may I be excused?
Yes, sir, thank you, take care.
I just have a question, Your Honor, for Mr.
Yes.
Middleton. Attorney Middleton, did you receive everything that you need in this case? Or are you waiting for outstanding discovery?
Well, when we got the e-bike today, then I'll be able to go to my office and review it. And then
Okay.
back with you.
All right, and then any
Thank you.
videos, did you need to review any videos? Was there body cam or anything that you needed to set up an
I
appointment?
believe he came to our office to sign the video waiver and he received a link. Is that correct, Mr. Middleton?
That is correct.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
Now, I think we did get a motion granted by the court. It's sometime in the March that we're supposed to argue with regards to the evidentiary matters that we did file on.
All right.
But I'll clarify it when I get with the prosecutor, Your Honor.
All right, that sounds good. Thank you so much, Mr. Middleton. Sorry about the mix-up. You could have actually still been in your office, but that's okay.
That's perfectly all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You got what you needed.
Sure.
All right, take care, sir. All right, so that is the last person on the 10 a.m. calendar. I know that we were going to go back to Blount. Blount is in the courtroom, and I know that they needed a conference. Bonds, Darko, Edwards, Dearman was let me just go ahead and go through. Blount was needing a conference with the state. Bonds, conference with the state. He's an active inmate. Chapman, no pros. Darko needs a conference with Mr. Darko. Dearman, no pros ×2. I'm sorry, bench warrant ×2. Edwards needs a conference. Gray, bench warrant. Hardnett, conference. Harris is a ready announcement. Hatcher needs a conference. Hicks, breakout room with the state. Marshall, bench warrant, bond forfeiture. Crajon, no pros. Walker, Attorney Middleton, that's ready subject to the discovery issues. Ready subject to his review of the discovery. All righty. All right, so should I set up a breakout room, Mr. Taylor and Mr. Lynch, or do you need to speak with the individuals?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Do you need a breakout room first, or do you need to speak with the individuals in the courtroom first?
I was going to start with the people in the courtroom, including Mr. Bonds, who's in custody, and then I may request a few breakout rooms. I'll try to be as efficient as possible.
All right. So just let me know when y'all are ready.
Thank you.
If you've requested, I guess, some follow-up from the state, then you can send a chat and they can send it back to you.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe we could go ahead and do a breakout room with Miss Edwards. And while I do that, if Miss Hagler, if you wouldn't mind thinking about the text I sent you, I mean, the message as far as Miss Edwards' case on chat.
Okay. And I also sent you a text as well.
On her?
No, somebody else.
Okay, I saw that. Thank you.
Okay, so breakout room number 3 for the courtroom and Miss Kimberly Edwards, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Edwards, you'll see the invitation pop up on your screen. If you lose it, just activate your screen either by moving your cursor or putting your finger on the screen, and then just go into the breakout room. You can also come out of the breakout room. It should pop up on your screen, okay? All right, so that's set up and I'll be back.
Oh, and this is Hicks. What do I do from here?
Hang tight for me, Mr. Hicks.
All right, cool.
Judge, I do have an announcement for Ms. Edwards.
You have an announcement on Edwards?
Yes, Judge, we have a negotiated plea for Ms. Edwards. If you want to go ahead and do that now, or.
All right, Ms. Edwards, may I see you, please?
Please. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right. You can put your hand down. You're before the court on. What you doing, Miss Edwards?
Oh, nothing on my face.
Oh, you're before the court on State of Georgia versus Kimberly Michelle Edwards, 2021 CR 08221 for improper lane change and open container. Mr. Owen Lynch with the law firm of Lister Holton Dennis is representing you. Mr. Lynch, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Judge, she'll plead no contest to count 1, improper lane change. Count 2 is a null pros pursuant to negotiations, Judge.
All right, by entering a nolo to count 1, count 2 will be no pros. You give up the right to have a trial by a jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Excuse me, yes, Your Honor. On or about April 24th of 2021, Officer Jones responded to the intersection of 75 South and State Route 85 in reference to a 2-car vehicle accident. During the investigation, Officer Jones spoke with the defendant. The defendant stated that she was traveling south on Spur 85, passing 75 South. She then stated that another vehicle was in front of her that was stopped on the shoulder. The defendant also stated that she merged over to the next lane to go around the vehicle. And at that time, the defendant made contact with the passenger side of the second driver. During the investigation, the defendant was determined to be the at-fault driver and was cited for the offense of improper lane change. Your Honor, those are the facts of the case. Your Honor, count 1, the state is recommending a fine of $100, and count 2 would be non-profit.
All right, so Ms. Edwards, I'm going to accept your plea of nolo to count 1. Count 2 will be no pros. I'll sentence you to pay a fine in the amount of $100. It'll be $151.50 with the surcharges. And did you wish to have more than 30 days to pay that?
No, I should be able to pay that.
Okay, so Mr. Lynch, do you have her email address, or does she need to chat that directly to the clerk?
I think she should go ahead and chat it to the clerk. I think I have it.
All right. So Ms. Edwards, do you know how to use the chat function?
Yes.
Okay. If you can chat your email address to Miss Amanda Wright, RYTE. So when you're looking at the blue name, whatever name is in blue on your chat, click on that. It should be a pull down menu and you're looking for Amanda Wright, RYTE. Click on that and send her your email address and your first and last name, please. And once you've done that, you'll be free to go. You'll pay the fines and fees within 30 days. And the return email that you get from the clerk's office should have the information about how to pay online or by phone if you choose to pay that way, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Be safe, Ms. Hicks.
All right.
I'm sorry, Ms. Edwards.
All right.
All right. Next, Mr. Lynch.
Judge, can I do a breakout room, with Mr. Harris?
Sure. All right, Harris. All right, so Mr. Demetrius Harris, I'm going to put you in breakout room number 3.
Okay, how do I get to that? Oh, you just gonna put me? Okay.
Okay. Do you see a pop-up on your screen? Yep. All right, he's in the breakout room.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
That was breakout room 3?
Yes.
Is there an Alicia Dearman on the call? Alicia Dearman?
I have a bench warrant request for both her cases. She didn't appear.
Oh, and is there a Christopher Gray? Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to see if they arrived a little later. We could speak to them. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, I do have an announcement for Mr. Harris and for Mr. Darko.
All right, Mr. Lynch.
Mr. Harris is going to stand on his not guilty and announce ready, subject to obtaining the electronic discovery in this case.
Okay. And you said Darko?
Same announcement.
Okay, so Mr. Darko, Mr. Harris, you'll be in court on the date. You'll get your trial notice and you'll be in court for that date. So we can determine which of your trials are going to go forward. All right, you're excused at this time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we still have Blount, Bonds, Hardnett, Hatcher, Hicks.
Yep, Judge, we're working through them.
Okay. I'm just trying to keep my list straight. All right, I'll be back. You're in the conference room with Mr. Harris, or because I think he's waiting for you?
No, he just, I believe, came back out.
Oh, okay, that was for the ready announcement. All right, so then, did you want
Yes.
another?
Could you
Okay,
put me in a breakout room with Mr. Hicks?
all right, sure. All right, so Mr. Hicks, I'm gonna put you in breakout room number 3.
Okay.
All righty. Let me know when you're ready.
Judge, I do have an announcement for Mr. Hicks.
Okay,
He's going to stand on he's going to announce ready, subject to any outstanding discovery.
all right.
Now,
Ready announcement. Mr. Hicks, you'll get your trial announcement in the mail. Please make sure that you are prepared and you are in court on that day. It's not video and it's in court. And then we will see you then.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
And we got a new offer for Mr. Darko, so we're discussing that with him right now. So he
Okay.
ended up, but if I could get a breakout room with Mr. Hatcher.
All right, Mr. Hatch, I'm gonna put you in breakout room number 3. All right, you should see the announcement pop up, the invitation. All right. Come on. Sarah.
Down the hall, there's been a major development in Sierra and Billy's relationship.
How are you the last night?
But I was watching the video of Lizzo online, and she said it so beautifully. And you know, at the end of the day, we are on the same
Uh,
Um, could I request a breakout room with Miss Blunt?
Yes, you have an announcement for Mr. Hatcher?
Judge, I was gonna request one thing from the state that I hadn't had
Okay.
to do yet.
All right, so I'll put Miss Blunt in the breakout room. Blunt. All right. For those of you who are here for the 11 o'clock calendar, we're just finishing some stuff up on the 10 o'clock calendar, so we'll be right with you. Just give us a moment. Just mute your device, please, and make sure your first and last name are on the calendar page, on the page, the screen, so that I know who's here and who I can, and if I have to move you around in or out of a breakout room. So first and last name, please. Thank you.
Ms. Blunt, if, I believe the judge invited you to join a breakout room. If you can click join the breakout room.
Yes. Hello,
Ma'am,
I'm available.
it should say join breakout room on your screen. Can you?
Hold on 1 second.
The situation is a bit too vicious. So she wants to support and she supports your cause. And she wants to petition.
Hold on, let me join breakout. I don't see that.
Your Honor, did you invite Ms. Blunt to the breakout room?
I did.
So how do I join it? Should it pop up a link?
Touch your screen or activate your screen.
Where's my screen?
You see the invitation?
Phil's Galaxy.
Do you see it?
I'm looking at myself.
All right, hold on a second.
Wait, sir. I'm sorry.
All right, do
Okay.
you see it now?
There it is. I see it now. There it is.
Thank you. Judge, Ms. Blunt is going to announce ready, subject to any outstanding discovery.
All right. You are ready. You'll receive your notice for trial. Please be ready at that time. It's in person, not on video. Okay, next.
Trying to see where I'm at.
Bonds, Hardnett, and Hatcher are the last three I have for the 10 o'clock calendar.
Oh, I needed to, could I do a breakout room with Ms. Hagler? Ms. Hagler, would you be willing to do that on Hatcher real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, breakout room number 1, I'll move you into there. All right, Ms. Hagler, you're already in breakout room number 1.
Okay, thank you.
If
Mr. Hatcher, I'm gonna chat you something.
okay. Good morning, everybody. This is Attorney Butterfield. How y'all doing?
Good
Hi,
morning.
Attorney Butterfield.
Good morning. Miss Arnold, can you tell me who my solicitor is? I would like to pre-try this matter on Adrian Sheely. I did get the discovery that you sent, but it did not have the, it just says the signature. It doesn't have the name of the ASG on it. Good morning, Your Honor.
It's me, Attorney Hager. It's me.
Okay. You judge, if you get a minute, can you put me, I would like to be in a breakout room with the solicitor. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Lynch,
Yes.
Bonds and Hardnett, Hatcher. Hold on, let me call the 11 o'clock and then we can still be working on those. All right.
Okay. And Judge, just for Darko, we are announcing ready, just to sneak that one.
Hardnett,
For Darko,
Darko, okay. All right, for the 11 o'clock calendar, this is courtroom 304. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is the State Court of Clayton County. Thank y'all for your patience. We were trying to finish up the 10 o'clock calendar, but we'll work that in. So for the calendar call for trial, first case on the calendar is Jorge Ramirez Castilla. Jorge Ramirez Castilla, and this is Mr. Kesser's case.
How you doing? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You just my client is working in Arizona. I always forget about the Zoom option in this courtroom, but can we just go ahead and set it for a plea date, and I'll show him how to log on to Zoom and.
Sure. Ms. Val, can we put Mr. Castilla on for a plea by video?
How many weeks does he need?
I'm sorry.
A couple weeks. What's available in a couple weeks?
I have the 25th. If that's not, then we can do March 4th.
Let's do March 4th. Sounds good.
Okay, March 4th, 10 a.m.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Kessler.
Mr. Kessler, you have the Zoom option?
I do. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
All right, next is Adrienne Tyrone Keeley.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
All
That's
right.
fine. That's my
Mr.
case, Your Honor. I would like a pretrial with the solicitor and then make my announcement with the court afterwards, Your Honor, if that's okay.
That works for me. Just give me a minute to run through these names.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Marisha Ann Cooper.
The state will move for a bench warrant bond forfeiture.
Marisha Ann Cooper. Last call for Cooper, bench warrant bond forfeiture. Next on the calendar is Ryan Mitchell Cox. Ryan Mitchell Cox. Judy Kim is the attorney. Ryan Mitchell Cox.
The state will move for a bench warrant bond forfeiture.
Bench warrant bond forfeiture will be granted. Next is Coulter Alaria Joe Davis.
Present.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alaria Davis Coulter. Sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms.
That's a state's announcement.
The state is ready.
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
All right, so a ready announcement, Ms. Davis Coulter. You'll get a notice in the mail about your trial date. Please understand that that is in person, so you'll have to appear in court in the Clayton County Courthouse on that date. Keep in touch with your attorney. You're free to go at this time. Nasir Ismail Dawson.
Your Honor, it was brought to my attention. I spoke to Attorney Toombs on Friday, and we did verify the defendant is actually in Henry County Jail. He's been in there since December the 9th of last year. So
We'll be requesting a bench warrant, Your Honor.
All right, so bench warrant so that Henry County will be notified to send him to us once he has been released from their custody. So Dawson is inmate in Henry County Jail. Bench warrant will be granted.
Thank you.
And Mr. Dawson has 2 cases. So
Yes.
bench warrant times 2. Next is Christopher Michael Delgado. Christopher Michael Delgado.
Mr. Delgado is present in the courtroom.
Okay. Are you already making an announcement? You asking for a state's announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is ready.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
State's ready. Okay. Defense is ready, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Delgado, please make sure that you are ready for trial. It will be in person in the courtroom. You'll get your notice by mail, and please keep in touch with your attorneys, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Also remember your bond order that if you're not to have contact with anyone or to go back to a particular location, please don't violate your bond conditions or you could be arrested and charged with additional misdemeanors or felonies. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir. Jermaine Bernard Foster. Jermaine Bernard Foster. Last call for Jermaine Bernard Foster.
I will move for a bench warrant.
Bench warrant will be granted.
And Your Honor, we didn't have a good phone number for Mr. Foster. I attempted to reach him.
All right. Gordon, Xavier Jamal Gordon. Xavier Jamal Gordon.
Mr. Gordon, if you want to mute your mic.
Is he present? Oh, I see him. Xavier Gordon. What's the announcement?
State's announcement.
Your Honor, the state is ready. Does he have a valid license? I mean,
Defense is ready at this time.
All right.
Mr. Gordon, if you could hear me, could you please just turn on your camera briefly?
Yeah, just there we go. Should be coming on, I think.
And so we've entered our not guilty. Stay in touch with me and my office, and we will discuss before your next court date, okay?
And I just have a question. Is this not a case that can be resolved prior to trial with a valid license? I believe Ms. Hagler had requested a valid license. I just don't, is this a case that's actually moving forward, or did Mr. Gordon provide anything that we can consider, or is just a not guilty announcement?
At this time, it's a ready announcement.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure, Mr. Taylor, are you rejecting the state's offer? If he has a valid license, we'll dismiss it. I just want to get that on the record. Are you rejecting the state's offer?
At this time, I just need to gather some more information from Mr. Gordon, so we're going to stand on our ready announcement. That may change at a later date.
Okay, so with the ready announcement, that's an indication that you have rejected the state's offer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon.
All right, thank you.
I'll follow up with you before next court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Kimberly Jean Heisman.
Your Honor, Ms. Heisman's present on the video.
Present.
All right. State's announcement.
Your Honor, the state is ready. However, Mr. Lynch and I were still in negotiations. Do you have what I requested? Okay.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry. I just downloaded it and I'm about to text it to you right now.
All right. So
Okay, thank you.
Heisman is being negotiated. David Christopher Hurd.
Mr. Hurd should be online, I believe.
David Christopher Hurd.
I did see him connect earlier.
Well, if he doesn't reconnect, the state is requesting a.
All right, Mr. Cox is present. Mr. Cox, are you still represented by Ms. Kim? Ryan Cox, you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, are you still represented by Ms. Kim?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you know why Ms. Kim's not present?
I would not be aware of that, no.
Can you give her a call for me?
I actually did try and call her a little bit ago because the password wasn't working for me and she did not answer. But
Okay.
I can try giving her another call as well.
Yeah, if you can, because I know she submitted a waiver, but a waiver doesn't cover a calendar call because we really need an announcement for whether you are going to trial or whether she's been able to work something out short of trial. Okay.
Okay,
But
I'll give her a call.
credit for being here. There's no bench warrant going to issue. You'll get credit for being here, but I just need to know if why she's not here.
Okay, okay. My apologies.
right.
Yes, ma'am, I
No.
will.
Okay, just mute your device for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Judge. It's Mr. Hurd. I'm here.
All right, Mr. Hurd, I hear you, but I can't see you. Hold on, I got progressives on. It's hard to find anybody. I'm still trying to find you. Talk again for me. There you are. in the purple sweatshirt?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So Mr. Hurd, all right, Mr. Taylor, what's the announcement for Mr. Hurd?
State's announcement, please, Your Honor.
The state is ready, Your Honor.
Your Honor, defense is ready.
All right, so Mr. Hurd, your case is a 2021 case and it will likely be tried on the next calendar. So please make sure you are in court in person. It is not video for trials. You have to be in person in the courthouse, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you'll get your notice in the mail. Keep in touch with your attorneys.
Mr. Hurd, I'll speak with you before our next court date. And you're free to leave today.
All right, Maple, Lucius Gerard Maple.
How you doing, Judge?
I'm good, Mr. Maple. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Mr. Maple, I don't see an attorney for you. Who's your attorney?
Mr. Terrell Dart.
Mr. who?
Terrell Dart.
Darden? Mr.
Dart.
Darden? Dart.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so do we know where he is?
Trying to contact him as we speak. So not sure if he's in if he could be in another court.
Okay. Well, you'll get
Reach out to him.
credit for being here, but I need to speak with him to determine whether he's going forward with the trial or whether y'all have been able to determine something else. So go ahead and mute your device and keep trying to contact him, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Attorney Kim, somebody has her on the line. Let me see. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Arnold. All right. And next is Scipio. Daryl Renee Scipio.
Mr. Scipio.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Scipio, license, no license, license suspended or revoked license and failure to have headlight. We
Yes,
want
ma'am.
to on this?
At this time, we're standing by ready, Your Honor.
So I just want to confirm that counsel,
My announcement
or
ready,
I'm
Your
sorry,
Honor.
Ms. Taylor, I'm just trying to perfect the record. Just allow me to finish, please. So I just want to make sure that, as you are aware, if the defendant has a valid license, the state will take that into consideration. It's my understanding, based on your announcement, that you are rejecting the state's offer. Is that correct? Well, your client is rejecting the state's offer.
Your Honor, my announcement is ready.
Sounds like a rejection to me.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Scipio, I'll see you at trial.
Mr. Scipio, stay in touch with my office and I'll follow up with you before our next court date. You're free to leave today.
All right, Thornton, Roderick Thornton.
Hey, Your Honor, I would just like to go back to that point. As the court is aware, it's my understanding that the defendant has a right to announce whether or not he wants to go to trial. I'm not saying to speak about counsel's conversations that he's has with his client, but I just want the court to be aware that the state made an offer. I'm not sure if that was communicated to his client or not, but it is a rejection.
I got it.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Clear. If yes, generally, if they have the documents, the state has been either dismissing or reducing in some way. So I get it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Thornton.
Yes, yes, Judge. Mr. Thornton's present. We'd like to see if we can enter a plea this morning on that.
I'm ready when you are, Mr. Kulo. So have you had an opportunity to entertain the state's offer and you ready to go forward with a negotiated plea?
Well, that's why I came this morning. I mean,
well, you need to speak to them. I'm just asking, do you need to speak to them or do you already have a plea?
I have an offer, Judge. The only thing I was concerned about is there's an offer of 48 hours to serve on the first DUI, if that would be commuted to time served.
Ms. Ponder? It's a first and 5 or first in life?
First in life.
That is credit for time served.
Thank you. Thank you. We're ready to.
All right. Mr. Thornton, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Thornton, you're before the court on 2021 CR 08305 for DUI count 1, DUI less safe count 2, improper, traffic violation count 3, and improper lane change count 4. You're represented by Attorney Victor Kuvo, who's here with you at the podium. By Mr. Kuvo, what is your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Your Honor, we'd like to enter a plea of guilty.
All right. Entering a plea of guilty to count, count 1, count 2 will merge, and guilty to counts 3 and 4?
That's the way I have it, Judge, yes.
All right. You give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses and to enter evidence and testimony on your behalf. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
Yes.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On
I'm sorry.
June the 6th, 2021, officers responded to 7290 South Lake Parkway in reference to a possible impaired driver located here in Clayton County, Georgia. When officers arrived on scene, they made contact with the defendant before you, Mr. Thornton. Officers indicating that the defendant, that officers learned in the course of their investigation that the defendant was about to struck another vehicle head on, had to swerve in order to avoid a collision. Officers did smell an odor of alcohol coming from his person, in which he did admit to officers that he consumed alcohol. Officers did conduct a standardized field sobriety evaluation in which the defendant, based on their observations, the defendant did fail. Officers read Georgia implied consent for suspects over the age of 21. Later came back that his BAC was a .191. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. It's my understanding, based on previous negotiations, for count 1 is 12 months to serve, 48 hours, credit for time served, balance probated, a $500 fine, 40 hours of community service, substance abuse evaluation, any recommended treatment, no drugs or alcohol while on probation subject to random testing. I'm not sure if I said this, but to enroll and complete a defensive driving course. Count 2 will merge into count 1. Count 3 will be a $100 fine suspended, and count 4 will be a $100 fine suspended.
Mr. Kuvo?
Yes, Judge, that's my understanding of what the state would recommend, and that we're in agreement with that. We'd ask the court also to sign an affidavit of first conviction.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Thornton, I know this has been a while, but you were 3 times the legal limit. And I think by now, because I haven't heard of anything else, you probably learned your lesson. But I hope that it not in addition to learning your lesson, that you teach the same lesson to other people, the consequences of, being that out of control and behind the wheel of a car. You were fortunate, we were all fortunate that nobody was hurt or killed. But it could have been so much different. Could have been so much different. So please be mindful of that. I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to counts 1, 3, and 4. Count 2 will merge. 12 months on count 1 to serve 48 hours credit for time served. Balance will be probated for you to pay a fine in the amount of $500. It's going to be closer to $1,000 with the surcharges because the surcharges are enhanced for a DUI. 40 hours of community service, a risk reduction course, substance abuse evaluation, and any treatment that may be ordered. You're to have no alcohol or illicit drugs during the course of probation. You're subject to random screens for alcohol and drugs, and you'll take a driver improvement course with the Department of Driver Services. So please don't just Google that. Go to the Department of Driver Services website. They have approved driver improvement courses in one of their pull-down menus, and you can take one of those. Count 3, $100 fine suspended. Count 4, $100 fine suspended, both of which will run concurrent with count 1. All right. So Mr. Thornton, you're going to go sign up for probation. You're going to leave the courtroom. When you take a right out of the courtroom, you're going to go to courtroom 305. The first set of double doors, there'll be 2 offices in there. One of those offices will have the probation expert, Ms. James. She's going to sign you up. If there are any questions that you have regarding anything pertinent to you successfully completing probation, please make sure you ask those questions. The quickest way to get rearrested is to not appear for probation. Please appear. If you have any difficulties with anything during probation, trust your probation officers. They are here to make sure you successfully complete, and so they can help you work through any difficulties, okay? All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Kulo. Anything else?
Yes, nothing further, ma'am. We be excused.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. So Mr. Butterfield and Ms. Hagler, I'll put you in breakout room number 4, I think, or 5 for you to have a breakout room.
Okay, and Your Honor, before you do that, I do have an announcement on Heisman.
Go ahead.
The state's on NARPOS that case.
All right. Heisman is going to be no cost.
Thank you.
All right. So Ms. Heisman, you can go at this time. If you need any other information, please keep in touch with your attorneys and they can explain anything that you need explained. But at this time, the state is not going to prosecute that case. Ms. Hagler of Mr. Butterfield, I think is in breakout room number 5. And I'm trying to get Ms. Blount out of the breakout room that she's stuck in. So we'll see.
And Your Honor, I have a couple of announcements as well.
Okay.
On Mr. Darko, that's from the 10 a.m. calendar. Defense is announcing ready.
On Mr. Hardnett? Okay.
No, on Mr. Darko, but also Mr.
Darko. Well, okay, y'all have announced Darko 3 times. I still don't have one for Bonds or Hardnett or Hatcher.
Hardnett will also be ready.
Okay.
Let's see, Hatcher is. One other matter, Your Honor. There's
Yes.
a Miss Fuente Salinas in the courtroom.
All right.
They had missed a court date. We have an interpreter as well. So they'd like to address their case. It's 2022 CR 01171. This is not a Lister and Holt case, Your Honor. This is just pro se defendant on traffic violation.
Okay, that's 2022 CR 01171, Miss Arnold. So whoever is covering that case, and just tell them to hold on for a second, and we'll pull it up because Miss Hagler's in a breakout room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
And was there an announcement, Your Honor, from the Center Clock calendar on Bonds?
Not yet.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, may I make an announcement? It's Judy Kim for Ryan Cox.
Miss Kim. Yes, ma'am.
I apologize. I thought I had you down on my calendar for 12, so I apologize. We have a negotiated plea for your consideration.
Okay, Ms. Hagler's in a breakout room, I think. So as soon as she comes out, we'll go ahead and do the plea.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's in a breakout room, so we'll be back in a moment. And Miss Arnold, is pulling up, I think, the information so that she can give that to the person who missed their court date. So Miss Arnold or whoever's in the solicitor's office, I guess, is gathering that information because they weren't on the calendar.
Mr. Hatcher, if you could check your chat messages, I sent you a message. This is Attorney Taylor speaking. Those two questions. Okay. I got some announcements. Judge is here, but I mean, she's not in the breakout room, so we got announcements. Prosecutor's got to hear it. Who's there? Yeah.
Your Honor, if I may be able to make a couple announcements if Ms. Ponder is present to record those off to 10 a.m. Let me see that notice. Does she have a license? Are we gonna resolve it?
We're gonna try, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I make a few announcements off the 10 o'clock calendar?
Hold on. Okay, Ms. Hagler is still in the breakout room, but go ahead.
I think Ms. Ponder, are you there to record these? I don't want to have to do it twice.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, just making sure.
No problem.
So for Mr. Hardnett,
Yes.
we're going to announce ready to subject to any outstanding discovery.
Okay.
For Mr. Hatcher, he does not want to reject the state's offer. However, these charges will suspend his driver's license. My understanding is he's currently at college and may need his license to get back. So I had discussed with him about requesting a plea date to give him a little bit of time to prepare for having a suspended driver's license. Is that something the state would be willing to do?
The state has no objection to any continuance for him to resolve his case. I'm fine with that.
And I would just ask for maybe 30 days.
Sorry, hold on. What's he, one second. I'm sorry. When this starts, I go to 30 or 40. Just bear with me.
Bless you.
This is for Mr. Hatcher?
Yes, Judge. From my understanding, he is gonna resolve this through a plea. He just needs some time to figure out how he's gonna.
Okay, I'll continue it, but only if he takes a defensive, a driver improvement course in the interim.
Mr. Hatcher, are you willing to do that in order to? It may help some of these other charges as well on some level.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do the one from the Department of Driver Services. I think it's about $95 last time I checked, unless they went up. But just make sure it's a Department of Driver Service defensive driving course.
Yeah, where the Georgia state agency that issues your license, the Department of Driver Services, that's who you need to take. You'll get a certificate from them, and then you'll present that when you come back to court. Ms. Val, let's give him, what were we talking about?
Can about 30 days, would that put you in a better place where you can prepare for the fact that your license is going to be suspended? If there's any way to avoid it, I'll explore it, but the way it stands, if we plead to these charges, your license will be suspended.
Okay.
All right, so Ms. Val, what are we talking about?
30 days. Mr. Manager, just put it on a Tuesday calendar at 10 a.m., 30 days out.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so we'll give you notice, Mr. Hatcher, but you go ahead and take that driver improvement course immediately, if not sooner.
Okay.
I tell you, people at school, these are the consequences of just hanging out on the street, just riding crazy.
Understandable.
All right. All right, so we'll see you when you come back, Mr. Hatcher.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good one.
All right, do well in school. Let's make something positive.
And Judge.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do have another announcement.
Go ahead.
Mr. Bonds, we're going to announce ready subject to any outstanding discovery. He's in custody for some other matters, but he wants me to explore the case with him a little further before he potentially resolves.
Oh, all right, but active inmates get priority unless y'all waive.
I understand, Judge, and if we can't work something out, I will be ready to try that case.
Okay. So Ms. Hagler and Mr. Butterfield are speaking about Chile. Cooper is a bench warrant bond forfeiture. Cox is ready to take a plea at this time, but I believe that's Ms. Hagler's case. So as soon as she comes out of the breakout room, Ms. Kim will go ahead and do that. Davis Coulter is a ready announcement. Dawson is bench warrant, but only because they are currently a inmate in the Henry County Jail. Delgado is a ready announcement. Foster is a bench warrant. Gordon is a ready announcement. Heisman is a no pros. Hurd is a ready announcement. And Maple can't reach his attorney, but he is here. Scipio is a ready announcement, and Thornton is a plea. We just took the plea. All right, so the only outstanding things we have are Chile and Cox and Maple. And Maple is only because this gentleman can't reach his attorney, who has not done an entry that I see. So.
Judge, I just spoke with his office.
Okay.
He said they issued out an absence. He was going to be out for the week. It should have been.
Well, the problem is I don't even have him. This calendar was printed very recently. I don't even have him as your attorney of record. So if he did a continuance or a conflict saying that he was going to be out, if we're not on his list of cases, we wouldn't have gotten it. So he never actually entered your case like he's supposed to.
Right. We need an entry, and there was no one called in this case for that defendant.
Yeah. So tell Mr. Maple, Mr. Dart, you said he is?
Yes, ma'am.
We need an entry of appearance. Ms. Val, can we move him to March 4th?
Yes.
Okay. So tell him we need an entry of appearance. He'll be back in court on March 4th at 10 a.m. by video.
Okay.
And it's the same way that you signed on.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Because, we don't get, if he sends out a conflict, we don't get it unless we know he's your attorney. But you're free to go at this time, Mr. Maple. And thank you for appearing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. For those of you who are coming on for the 1 o'clock calendar, we're going to start that at 1 o'clock. For those of you who are for the 11 o'clock calendar, we're going to go ahead and get that done. Mr. Butterfield, do you and Ms. Hagler have an announcement?
We do have an announcement. Ms. Hagler, what's the announcement of the state?
Yes, Ron, the state is ready, and we are still in negotiations with defense counsel, but the state is ready.
Okay.
And Your Honor, our announcement is going to be ready for subject to further negotiation. There is possibly some digital discovery by way of body cam, dash cam. We're not, the state has requested it. So, but I did receive the paper discovery on the 5th, and I have read that and I pre-tried this matter. So we're going to announce ready subject to further negotiation, Your Honor.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Butterfield.
Thank you. And Mr. Chile was present, Your Honor. I've tried to court to see him on the calendar, on the.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Mr. Chile's here.
Thank you.
All right, so
May
Mr. Chile, keep in touch with your attorney. He's going to explain, especially if anything changes with the negotiations he's engaging in with the state. And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
when you all get your trial notice, you'll be ready for trial, but you have to appear in court in the actually in the state court courtroom 304 in the building. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you,
Your
sir.
Honor.
Be safe. Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Butterfield.
Thank you. Have a great week, Your Honor.
You too, sir. So, Ms. Hagler, I have Miss Judy Kim is here, and she says you all have an agreement for a plea for Cox, and we also have another case where the person came into court because they missed court previously. Miss Sonia, what is that person's name? I'm sorry, I just got a case number.
Dulce Salinas Puentes. She's ready to plea, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I've spoken with the defendant by way through Ms. Arnold. It's my understanding that they wish to accept the state's offer. The state is ready when the court is ready.
Okay, so that's Dulce Salinas Puentes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So we'll do Ms. Fuentes in a minute, and we'll go ahead and for Mr. Cox.
Your Honor,
Yes.
from the 10 o'clock calendar, Cassetriana Marshall
Yes.
previously issued a bench warrant. She
Yes.
logged on.
Yeah.
We've been texting. Apparently,
Yeah.
I may have, there may have been some confusion about the date, but she is on now. And I have filed several motions in her case. We're going to announce ready subject to any outstanding discovery and an immunity motion that I filed, which if Your Honor prefers prior to trial or however you want to schedule that, we'll be ready.
All right, Ms. Marshall, they're ready on your case, so you'll be in court for trial the next on the next available trial calendar. You'll get notice. Please keep in touch with your attorneys in case anything changes. Okay, and we also have motions hearing, so you may get a notice for a motions hearing unless we decide to have it right before the trial. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. You're free to go at this time.
Okay.
No
All
bench
right.
warrants.
So I'll recall whatever the bench warrant for Marshall.
Thank you, Judge.
So Cox, Mr. Cox, you're before the court on State of Georgia versus Ryan Mitchell Cox, 2021 CR 08267, counts 1, 2, and 3, public indecency. Mr. Cox, raise your right hand for me. We solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Ryan Mitchell Cox. Miss Judy Kim is your attorney and she is present. Ms. Kim, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court, counts 1, 2, and 3?
Please guilty.
All right, by entering a plea of guilty to counts 1, 2, and 3, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf. Present evidence and testimony on your behalf. If you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, factual basis of recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about May the 10th of 2021, Officers responded to 11161, Terra Boulevard, Hampton, Georgia, Clayton County, also known as the Chick-fil-A. When officers arrived on the scene, they conducted an investigation. During their investigation, it was determined that the defendant had committed the offenses of public indecency by exposing and touching his private part on 3 different occasions. Pursuant to their investigation, the defendant exposed himself to the juvenile Jamia Harris at the Cash Cart drive-through. Also, Makayla, McKayla Brown in the drive-through when taking his order, and also exposed himself to Skylar, SKYLAR Keys at the expediting window as they were giving him his food. Your Honor, those are the facts of the case. Your Honor, for count 1, the state's recommendation is 12 months probation, 40 hours of community service, a fine of $300. For count 2, 12 months probation to run concurrent with count 1. And for count 3, 12 months probation to run consecutive with counts 1 and 2 and 3. And the defendant is to stay away from the victims in the case. Jamia, Jamea Harris, Skylar, SKYLAR, Keys, KEYS, and Makayla Brown, MICKAYLA.
Okay, Skylar Keys is on. Did she wish to make a victim impact statement or?
Your Honor, let me confirm really quick. 1 second. No, ma'am, not at this time.
All right, Mr. Cox, I just can't imagine being a teenager or a young person working, fast food, high school, trying to live your life, and somebody pulls up and unasked, unwanted, they just pull out their penis and show you stuff that they didn't ask for. That's an assault. That wasn't necessary at all. I'm not sure why we're not looking at a psychosexual evaluation. Why aren't we? Because that's not just for funsies and giggles. That's just abusive to people who just were minding their own business doing their job.
Judge, may I interject? It doesn't excuse his behavior at all. I mean, he understands what he did was wrong. He was working long shifts at his work, and it doesn't explain it, Judge. I'm just saying by way of explanation. He doesn't remember this. He no longer lives or works at that. We're in Clayton County. He lives in Spalding County with his family. He has a job as a dispatcher where he works from home. So he has nowhere else to be other than, he said, at home, at work. He is getting ongoing therapy. He's not diagnosed with anything, but for his own mental health, he does get continued treatment. I'm not saying, Judge, it justifies it. It's just by way of explanation that he had been working multiple shifts, but he no longer will be in Clayton County for any reason whatsoever. So that's.
I mean, the Clayton County part doesn't. I don't care about that one way or the other, because I mean, I'm friends with the judge in Spalding. I'm sure he doesn't want this in his county either. The issue is that it was okay to assault those 3 young ladies, and that is something that really can have a toll on people. This is my issue, and I'm just going to be clear, it is my issue. I just really think that in America, we don't take seriously how destructive sexual assault and assaults of those natures, even people think public indecency, oh my goodness, it's just, it's just the naked body. But if I didn't ask to see your naked body, or if I'm working in my regular capacity and I'm just doing my job and you force that on me, that is an assault. And I think in America, we just brush it off. I think nobody gets how that leaves an impression on someone or how that hurts someone. And so, yeah, I get maybe he was working long hours, but working long hours means you fall asleep. behind the wheel, or you're an erratic driver. It doesn't mean you go to the window and 3 different times, because it was the payment window, the expedite window, the checkout window, all the windows, and 3 women had to be abused by Mr. Cox just pulling his junk out. And I just don't think that we need to just brush that under the rug. I just don't. I've had here recently a lot of these cases where women will be shopping in a store and somebody will feel it's incumbent upon them to grab them in private parts of their body. There's not enough elbows being thrown. I just really don't understand how people think that that's okay. And Mr. Cox being, ensconced with his family, I don't know if this means that there might be something going on with the family. I have issues with this. And so, yeah, it's me. But I'm just saying, this is not something that I want to just brush under the rug. The only thing that makes me feel a little better is for 2 years, Mr. Cox, you and I, we're going to get to know each other real well. If anything else like this happens, I promise you 2 things. 1, you'll come back before me. And 2, I will remember. Because I almost never forget. It's very, very rare for me to mix up something from a case when that person comes back in front of me. It's happened, but it's rare. So yeah, I just don't know that we treat the victims of these types of assaults with enough understanding of the impact that these things have on them. And so for those 3 young ladies who had to suffer this, I apologize on behalf of Mr. Cox, because you did not deserve that. And so, Mr. Cox, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to counts 1, 2, and 3. I'll sentence you on count 1 to 12 months probation, a fine in the amount of $300, which is going to be $444, 40 hours of community service, 12 months probation on count 2 to run concurrent, and 12 months probation on count 3 to run consecutive. So for 24 months, you will be on probation. I'll put you in a breakout room for you to sign up for probation with the probation expert, Ms. James. Once you've signed up with Ms. James, please make sure while you are speaking with her, you ask any questions that you might have regarding reporting for probation, or anything else that you may need to know about your successfully completing the 24 months of probation. Ms. James is going to be in breakout room number 6. I'm going to put you, Mr. Cox, in breakout room number 6. Is there anything else, Ms. Kim?
Nothing further, Judge. Maybe.
All right, Mr. Cox, once you've finished speaking with Ms. James, then you're free to go. Begin your probation. Please understand, like I said, the quickest way to get rearrested is to not report for probation.
Judge, will that probation be moved to Spalding where he resides?
No, ma'am. It's going to be right here.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I believe that is the last case on the 11 o'clock calendar. And then now we have Ms. Dulce Selena Fuentes, case 2022 CR 01171. And what's Ms. Fuentes charged with?
Are you asking me, Your Honor?
No, ma'am. I'm asking somebody who has the file.
I have the file, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Charges for count 1 is no license. Count 2 is red light violation. Your Honor, I did request from the defendant to see whether or not she had a valid license. My understanding, she does not. So the state's recommendation for count 1 is a $500 fine. Count 2 is a $100 fine suspended. And the state is ready when the court is ready. And also, I believe we have to do a bench warrant recall.
All right. So, Ms. Fuentes, let me see if I get this right. Dulce, D-U-L-C-E. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Selena, S-A-L-E-N-A. Is that correct?
Salinas. Está bien escrito. Salinas. Yes.
And Fuentes, F-U-E-N-T-E-S.
Fuentes or Fuentes? It's Fuentes with a P as in Peter. Fuentes.
Fuentes. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Thank you. All right. So, Ms. Fuentes, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on case 2022 CR 01171. No license, count 1. Red light violation, count 2. And are you entering a plea of guilty or nolo?
Nolo.
Okay. All right, by entering a plea of nolo on count 1 and count 2, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to present evidence and testimony on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis recommendation, please. Interpreter speed.
Yes, Your Honor. On August the 1st, 2021, officers conducted a traffic stop on Highway 85 in Lamar Hutchinson, located here in Clayton County, Georgia. Officers observed the defendant failed to stop at a red light and proceeded to conduct a traffic stop. Officers learned in the course of their investigations that the defendant did not have a valid driver's license. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. Also, Your Honor, did you need for me to repeat the state's offer?
No.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Puentes, I'm going to accept your plea of nolo to counts 1 and 2. I'll send you to pay a fine in the amount of $500, which will be $737.50. On count 2, it's a $100 fine, but that will be suspended per your agreement with the state.
Yes.
All right. And did you wish to have more to pay today, or did you need additional time up to 60 days?
Today.
All right. Did you, if you had a cash bond in this case, you may also get refund of your cash bond. Once you have paid, you can go over to the sheriff's department and get refund of your bond.
She doesn't have one, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So you can go downstairs to the 2nd floor, Ms. Puentes. They'll accept your payment today and give you your paperwork.
What about the recall, Your Honor?
The bench warrant recall is being sent to me. Ms. Ponder, I believe, has already sent that or will be sending it immediately.
And we go to the clerk office for that?
No. Well, I guess when she gets down to the clerk's office, they can print it if she needs to. I'm just waiting to sign it. I'm signing electronically, so I'll sign it immediately once I get it.
Okay, Yana, thank you so much. I take her to the 2nd floor and show her where to get the recall.
All right, thank you so much. All right, if we could get that recall, I'll sign it immediately. Thank you.
Thank you, Honor.
All right, take care. Thank you so much, Miss Sonia.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that concludes the 11 o'clock and the 10 o'clock calendars. We have a 1 o'clock calendar. The court is going to be in recess until 1 p.m. And then we'll come back on for that. The courtroom is down until the 1 p.m. calendar. And we're going to move pretty quickly through the 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. calendars, ladies and gentlemen. So if you all need to review or talk to each other, you can do so during the lunch. All right. Thank you. We'll see you.